1. Layla. I am going to die a virgin. It's official. I have obviously done something to anger the fates. My mate, the sexiest man I have ever seen, and the one I was just about to suggest do unspeakable things to me, is currently doing some serious backpedaling, despite the scorching heat between us. And I know exactly why.
Leila Jones, as in Alpha Jonathan Jones's daughter?
His deep, masculine voice is laced with concern. It's as if he's hoping the answer will have miraculously changed from the first time he asked me. His deliciously chocolate brown eyes are shaded by his thick black brows, drawn down heavily under the weight of his frown. I wish I could rewind to 30 seconds ago, before he knew who I was, before he decided I wasn't worth the hassle, before he realized he was better off making excuses to call a halt to the evening. I should have refused to give him my name. It was the best evening of my life, with his easy laughter, smoldering glances, and subtle touches that have been sending my pulse racing. Until now. I know bears don't feel the mate bond the same way wolves do, but I also know he's feeling something powerful between us. He doesn't seem like the type of man who lets loose too often, but from the second I sat down beside him, he had a glint in his eye and a witty remark at the ready. Just one tumble in the hay with this mountain of a man would be enough. I pray to the moon goddess to at least allow me that, and I'll be happy. But I already know that's a lie. One taste and I'd be hooked. In all honesty, I was under his spell from the second I walked through the door and caught his woodsy scent. I wonder if I leaned forward and kissed him with all I have. Could I stop him from doing what he's about to do? But I don't kiss him. Instead, I just nod, like a coward. At least if he's about to run away, it won't be quite as mortifying as having to physically pry me off him. So you know my father? I already know the answer. My father, as the alpha of the local pack, is widely known and respected, and more than a little feared, which translates to avoiding his daughter like the plague for pretty much every unmated male in the area. Except for alpha males. It's the main reason they seek me out. They want the prestige that comes from mating an elusive alpha female. But they're only interested in good breeding, not me, and not love. Most of them think a big bank account and a fancy house are enough to turn any woman's head. Personality and genuine feelings seem to be way down the list of qualities they're looking for, but that's not what I want. My parents are fated mates, and all my life I've hoped and prayed that I'd be fortunate enough to find my own. And here he is, presented to me on a silver platter, appearing like some sort of hunky mirage, sat atop a bar stool in my hometown dive bar, like he was just waiting here, just for me. A bear as my mate makes perfect sense. I had never considered it before, but when I saw him, I thought how clever the fates were, giving me a man who doesn't care about any of those alpha things. A solitary animal who doesn't feel the need to bow and scrape to others. A dominant bear like this wouldn't be concerned with trivial things like pack politics and scary fathers. Or so I thought. Except now I'm starting to wonder if the fates are just screwing with me, dangling this delicious specimen in front of me just to whip him away from me again. I realize now that the reason this handsome stranger was in town and knew about our pack was something I should have paid more attention to before. Instead of mentally drooling over the powerful thigh muscles I can see flexing under his jeans and the bulging biceps stretching his shirt whenever he moves.
I haven't met him yet.
He says cautiously, sitting back in his chair and looking at me seriously. Yet, interesting. I sigh and do the same. feeling the increased physical distance he's putting between us like a blast of ice-cold air. I want to be back in his arms on the dance floor, face pressed to his warm, muscular chest, swaying slowly together to the music and basking in the happiness I felt as he held me tight. "What are you in town for, Marcus?" I ask, getting straight to the point. I clasp my hands in front of me to stop myself from fidgeting and looking as nervous as I feel. The alpha wolf within me is torn between despairing over what's transpiring and anger that our mate is pulling back from us, particularly over who I'm related to, given it's clear he's no pushover. I've met plenty of bears before, and stubbornness is a common trait. I can't imagine there's much that can change this man's mind.
I'm the new sheriff.
He watches me closely for my reaction, but I simply smile and offer him my congratulations. "That's brilliant. Someone needs to get these rowdy shifters back in line. They've lost the run of themselves since Madeline retired." I pick up my beer and take a long draw, both of us eyeing each other like chess players, not willing to give anything away. If he's the new law in town, that means he'll be working closely with my father. I can already see where this is going. He doesn't want to get involved with some needy little daddy's girl who will go running to the alpha when she gets her heart broken, inevitably sending a whole heap of drama his way.
So, I don't think maybe this isn't the best idea,
He says coolly, and my wolf's hackles immediately go up. He narrows his eyes as he senses some of my alpha power when my anger flares. Either he didn't expect that, or he doesn't like it, or both. Well, tough luck. He's my mate. He isn't supposed to think like all the others, assuming I'm some pampered brat. Fine. I stand up and yank my leather jacket off the back of my chair, then throw down a 20 on the bar to cover my drinks. I'm not letting the guy who's rejecting me pay for my drinks. I have my pride. Marcus lifts his eyes to heaven, rubbing a hand on his neatly trimmed dark beard.
Leila, don't go. Not like this.
He pleads quietly, and I can hear the genuine regret in his voice. I don't want his pity, though. I want him to want me as I want him, with an all-consuming need that should be impossible to deny. My wolf whimpers, anger shifting back to hurt, and I need to get out of here, fast, if I want to keep my dignity intact. I turn away from him, letting my dark hair fall around my face as I go to leave. His big hand catches my wrist, and a soft gasp escapes my lips as electricity shoots up my arm from his touch. His eyes jerk up to meet mine, and I know he felt it too. This is just too unfair, and I'm on the verge of breaking down. He pulls me back toward him gently, using his obvious strength to stop me from pulling away, but doing it carefully rather than aggressively. He tips my head up, so I'm forced to meet his eyes, and flinches when he sees the tears glistening there. "Let me go, Marcus. I just want to go home. Please don't make this worse than it already is," I whisper, looking down at where his calloused hand holds mine, unable to look into his soulful eyes for another second. The pain there seems to mirror my own, and I can't wrap my head around why he's completely shut down. He doesn't say a word, just slowly lets my hand drop. I pull in a deep breath and turn on my heel, head held high as I push through the crowded bar toward the rear entrance. As soon as I get outside, I slam the door behind me and sink to the ground, letting the tears come as big sobs rack my body. The best day of my life has now officially become my worst.
You can listen to the rest of the book in the Tempt Romance audiobooks app, available on the App Store and Google Play. The link to the book is in the description. Discover even more bestsellers and exclusive stories updated weekly, only in Tempt Romance audiobooks.